Hey, it's a, very overcast and early darkness, December 15th. I can't wait till these days start to get a little longer. But it's December 15th, Thursday, and I'm here with your weekly eBlast, also known as the Weekend Update. So, last weekend, 2 nights of lessons and carols. Man, really just rich stuff. I'm telling you, it was really rich stuff. And if you were not able to come, I'm sorry, but I think it's recorded on Facebook. So you can go to our Facebook page. Large choir, instrumentalists, um, uh, horn players, a harpist, two people playing organ and piano. Just really well done. A whole cast of characters doing readings. The whole sweep of lessons and carols, which begins in Genesis and all the way leading God's plan for recovery, all the way up to the birth of Jesus. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll give you a self-confession. I was there the first night. It's been so busy, lots of things going on. I got up, I did the introduction, I did the opening prayer, the bidding, and then I sat in the back and was going to wait for my next spot to read. And I was like caught up in just the busyness of things. And suddenly it was the carols, hearing these carols. It was like Christmas entered, my world, my atmosphere. So beautiful thing. Paula did a great job. How much work she was doing Monday nights, all kinds of people involved. Thank you for everybody who was involved in putting that on. Thank you for Mo and Bob for making sure that our streaming was really great shape. Thank you for everybody, for Amanda and everybody put together that great receptions upstairs. So really fantastic. Some folks we hadn't seen for a long time showed up. So really wonderful thing. So Lessons and Carols is great. Last night we had a very different kind of service. Our service of hope and healing is not meant to be a big, pat you on the back kind of thing. It's really for people for whom this is a very difficult time of year. And again, very powerful. Paula and Tara and Carolyn and our resident harpist. Man, Polly, everybody has created this atmosphere. And then the prayer team, man, just the work they did, just a really wonderful night of ministry. So 2 events that are past, but they were great. And if you weren't part of them, you have a really wonderful church. Coming up this weekend on Saturday in the morning, as you'll see advertised in the text, is the centerpiece making moment. We make these centerpieces for Christmas, which has become quite the deal. I think there's great music. The hall looks fabulous with the way it's lit up and Christmas decorations. So they'll be up there doing that. And so that's this coming Saturday. I guess that's the 17th. So 17th. And we have our Advent 4, which is the story of, includes, Joseph and the angels came and how they spoke to Joseph. Really interesting scriptures. And so that's Advent 4 coming up. And then next weekend, as you know, we're moving into Christmas Eve, and how perfectly timed that Christmas Eve is on Saturday, Christmas Day is on Sunday. Christmas Eve, the service outdoor is 5. And we're really hoping for cooperating weather. That would really be great because you put a lot of people together. The beauty of outside is, hey, it's much harder to get a hold of COVID and some other thing. So outdoors 5. You know that we shortened that outdoor service. We shortened that because we know it's going to be cold, and we also know that you've got dinner going and guests coming over. So that's why we do it at 5, and we'll be done shortly before 6. So it's a really great service. Great service to invite your friends to. If the weather's bad, it's okay. We're going to be indoors. We'll be indoors for that. But I'm hoping for outdoors. We had one year where it was absolutely spectacular. Kind of twinkling stars in the sky, all the lights in the parking lot. So Christmas Eve, we have one at 5. And then at 8 o'clock, indoors at 8 o'clock. So that's coming up on Christmas Eve. So check your notes of other things going up. I will remind you that I'm doing 2 drives if you'd like to give gifts for Christmas. One is called the Coffee for Cops Drive. So here's what you do. You just go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. They drink both, and they probably will swap and switch depending on what they get. But go get some cards for coffee. They don't have to be huge amounts. A couple cups of coffee. A $10 card for Dunkin' Donuts or $10 card for Starbucks. Um, you might even go. I know the cops often go to Jersey Mike's because it's easy to pick up stuff and they bring it back. But anyway, those types of things. Coffee for cops. I want to be able to take it over on Christmas Eve, and distribute those, and so everybody will get some cards. Like your gift cards for coffee. So cards for cops. You can bring those to church, put them right in the offering plate. You can bring them to church, drop them off at Carol's desk. I'll get a hold of them. So that's one drive. The second drive is I have a family who, at this point, I can't disclose the name because of the confidentiality things involved, and the family's trying to keep things private. But let's just say this family has had, just a really terrible thing happen in their family, and they're going to need all kinds of help. It's a family that was, doing great, up to, about 2 weeks ago, and they've had a real catastrophe in the family, which involves hospitalization. I'll just say that much. This is a family who is going to, right now, we've been helping them out. I don't know if you know how much childcare costs, but in Simsbury, you can't get childcare for $5 an hour. You can't get childcare for $10 an hour. It is not possible to have someone, if you have to watch, you have a little guy at home and you're going to work all day. Nobody is doing this for like it was in 1990. It's very expensive. And so we're trying to find ways just to help this family in the interim before the big ticket items come. Big ticket items are like mortgage payments and insurance. So anyway, so we're working a fund so that we can help this family right now. And I've been in touch with them multiple times a week over the last couple of weeks. I'm also working with folks at the school, but we're keeping names and the family confidential for their sake, so that no information, starts showing up on their doorstep with their kids if they don't want it. So if you would like to be able to give toward this family situation, that's another thing to give. You just write a check and just say to Rector's discretionary account. You can do that. That'd be really great. So 2 great ways to give Christmas gifts to help out folks. Your police officers. I used to work as the chaplain for the fire department in Southwick, and fire also handled all the ambulance calls. So people would talk about that there had been 1,100 ambulance calls in a year, and how great it was to have these firefighters trained as EMS, and now up there, they're also trained paramedics show up. But for every time an ambulance shows up, who's there first? Police officers. So they do so much in our town, and this is a great department. The chief is really big on listening in the community. What are our needs? In fact, the community officer came by. The community officer now has a dog. It's not a dog for going after criminals or sniffing. It's a dog that's just friendly, kind of like a comfort dog. And he brings that dog to all kinds of places and events. And he was trying to get a Christmas picture, so he could kind of send that out. So he was coming over and saying, "Hey, do you have any Christmas decorations?" What he was looking for was like a giant outdoor Christmas tree with lights. And he's still looking for one, I think. But what kind of a department gets a dog that's really for community relations as opposed to, sniffing for drugs or, biting criminals or something? It's just the way our department is. It's a great department. I've gotten to know a lot of these people. And you know what? Police officers are the only people I know that live with a certain kind of, they have to keep in character almost all the time, and they're very private. It's like a very small community of people. And here's what I find out: they go through stuff too. They can't talk about it as much. They can't let that out, but they go through stuff too. So that's why I'm happy to be the chaplain for the department. So coffee for cops, and help out this other family with the check, the discretionary account. And hopefully we'll see you this Sunday at our church services, both 8 and 9:15. So God bless you, and be listening listening, not for the sleigh bells, I mean, that comes, but be listening for what's the Lord saying as the season of Advent, which anticipates his return. So God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.